Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 226. In this episode, you're going to hear 3 reasons why Carrie Leaf is so badass. So if you missed the last episode, Carrie is a psychotherapist turned mental health coach, but that's not it. Turned mindset coach. And so many great takeaways. Go back, listen. If you have anything with negative thinking or you want more positive thinking without being too Pollyanna-ish, go back and look at the last episode or listen to the last episode. It was so good. And today's episode, we're going to talk about 3 reasons why Carrie Leaf is so badass. So here's the thing. I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. I'd love regular conversations with the Ordinary to Badass podcast community. I think that we can do so much together. We can definitely go further together, but I want to hear from you. I want to know what's on your mind, what you want to see more of, what you want to hear more of. What kind of things interest you? What are your favorite episodes of the podcast? What are you struggling with right now? All of the things. So I love nothing more when podcast listeners reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook at Ordinary to Badass. Reach out to me. Let me know what's going on. Because you're just as much a part of this community. You help shape this podcast and shape where we're headed. And really, your feedback is so helpful to me. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a one-on-one. If you're cool with a one-on-one, fine. Let's talk. But it can also just be like a group conversation. Having a group of badasses together, talking about where we're at and where we want to go from here. And like I said, having your feedback, hearing from you means the world to me. Because you're the one that makes this podcast possible. You're listening to the episodes, giving feedback to the speakers that come on the show, and it's so powerful. But you make this happen, and you do help to shape the show. So I want to hear from you, because what's going on in your life is going on in another badass's life as well, right? So it's, say I forgot something, or I forgot to bring a speaker on the show about a certain topic that you want to hear. Your feedback is amazing. So let's have conversations. I definitely want to start doing these weekly phone calls or maybe bi-weekly group Zoom calls so that we can start chatting with each other and really connect in a time like after the pandemic now. Now, that was going to say now more than ever, but that's the corny thing that kept being said over and over after the pandemic. But now really is the time to connect. It really is the time that we sit down, chat, and get to know each other and help each other out, because what you're struggling with might be what somebody else is, and then they hear your story or hear you say something that like resonates with them, right? And maybe you say it in a different way than I've said it, or you say it in a different way than anybody that they've ever heard talk about that type of scenario or situation, and you say it differently in a way that resonates. So you're not just helping yourself, but you're helping other badass women. So if you'd like to be a part of these private Zoom group calls, it's like, it'll be like a cocktail night. If you'd like to be a part of these, then reach out to me on Instagram. You could on Facebook too. I'm mainly on Instagram, but you could reach out on either. Send me a DM and let me know that you're interested. Just say, I'm interested, or Zoom room, whatever. But yeah, I would love to have those weekly or bi-weekly group calls just so that we can like push each other to higher heights, to new levels, right? And support each other through the hard times, because, you know, it's not all gumdrops and lollipops all the time. So having support of other badasses around you is huge. All right, with that, let's get to the episode. Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm so glad you're here. So today I'm going to share 3 reasons why Carrie Leaf is so badass. Now, Carrie has a long history in psychotherapy, but she is currently a mindset coach. So we talk about so many different things in that episode. A lot was like about negative thinking and of course mindset, which is probably obvious, and she's a mindset coach, and also like work-life balance, how she deals with mom guilt, things like that. So go back, listen to that episode. It is so good. So today I'm going to share 3 reasons why Carrie Leaf is so badass. So just a quick rundown so you know what we're getting to. Carrie Leaf is so badass because of her self-care routine. It's a unexpected or underutilized self-care routine, I'll say. So it's not one you'd probably guess. Now, the second reason why Carrie is so badass is because she goes back to basics. And then third, finally, she stays in her zone of genius. So let's dig in a little bit. I want you to hear all about 3 reasons why Carrie is so badass. Again, if you didn't listen to that last episode, check it out, but you can also just binge this one real quick and then see if you like the content and then go back and listen to the other one. So first reason why Carrie is so badass is because of her self-care routine. And her self-care routine, she said she is big on sleep. She often tells her clients they have to have at least 7 hours of sleep. Well, Carrie says, not me, that doesn't work for me. So she makes sure that she gets 9 to 10 hours of sleep a night. 9 to 10 hours. I say that this is underutilized or underappreciated because I think we all just forget. In this day and age, everybody's used to go, 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 do, just being super busy with everything. And we forget that, you know what? Pause, take a break, get your sleep when you need it. If your body's feeling tired, a lot of times it's a sign, like maybe you do need to catch up. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep during the week or something. Then it's a sign that you do need to rest a little bit. So listen to your body, but also don't be afraid to be like Carrie, set healthy boundaries. Like for her, getting that 9 to 10 hours of sleep, pretty much non-negotiable. She prioritizes it because it's for her health and she knows how she functions. Some people can function off 4 or 5 hours of sleep, no problem. That feels like their thing. I know doctors medically, they say you need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but everybody is completely different. If you've ever heard of Jocko Willink, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's former military, so hardcore, but I think he gets 4 hours of sleep a night, and that's just his thing, and that's what he does, and that's how he runs and is fueled. And it works for him, right? But for Carrie, she knows she needs 9 to 10 hours of sleep. And so she will focus or make that a priority of hers. So if somebody wants to do something that's going to make her have 6 or 7 hours of sleep, she's probably going to double think that. Or just say no, because she knows what her priorities are. It's so interesting. Like once you know what your values are or what your priorities are, your non-negotiables, I think you're going to find it's going to feel easier to be like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that. Or no, thank you. I have to get my rest. I have to get my sleep. So don't be afraid. Just say no, or write out a list of the things that are most important for you. And if health is one of the things that's important for you, maybe you look at that. You look at, oh, do I need more sleep? Should I start including sleep in my non-negotiables? Should I start listing that as one of my values? But I think when we start to reflect on these things, and we really get clear on what we want and what it is that our bodies need, then it becomes helpful. Then it becomes easier to make the decisions that we need to get there, instead of just like feeling tired all the time or feeling like, oh, I'm just not getting traction. I'm not doing what I want to do. Well, you're tired, right? But if you set that goal, that's what you want to do, then it's going to be easier to say, nope, that doesn't align with my values. That's not aligned with my goals right now. It's not the direction I'm headed. And then you can just say no, because you already know that's a no-go for you. That doesn't work for you. All right, number 2. The second reason why Carrie is so badass is because she goes back to basics. Now, Carrie talks about how clients come to her and they want different things, and maybe they want to level up. And so she helps them. But you know what? She doesn't just go straight to, let's just go right to mindset. Let me give you a mindset tip or trick. Nope, that doesn't work for her. She said, no, we got to go back to the basics. We got to look at all the areas of your life, like more of a holistic approach. Instead of just looking at one problem, like, let's just fix your mindset and not fix any of the other issues. No, she takes the whole thing. And she says, okay, let's look at your house. Let's look at your finances, your spirituality, your friends, your physical health. Let's look at your career. All of these things factor in. It's so funny. So often we think that we need to just do one thing. If I could only fix this one thing. But the problem is actually over here. This one thing is probably just a distraction, right? Or it's a symptom of the other thing that's the problem. So we need to get to the root of the problem. But that's looking at all the areas of our life. And like I said, sometimes it's like whack-a-mole, right? It's like you whack something and it pops up somewhere else or pops up somewhere else. So we really got to focus on balancing all areas of our life. And like some of it's just subconscious, right? There's no way to know until you really start digging in and peeling back the layers. There's not necessarily a way to know which area you need help in, or which, like, this area is popping up, but it's actually because of this. So for an example is maybe your weight has increased, or you're feeling like you're overweight. You're not where you want to be. Well, guess what? It might not be about the weight. Chances are it's not about the weight. It's about some other issue. Maybe it's about something in your friendship circle, about your relationship, about your house, your finances. And so if you're having problems in one of those areas, then it's likely to pop up in a different area, like your weight, right? So you have to take all the areas into consideration, even your stress level. That's an important part of it, is looking at your stress level and trying to determine if that's what's going on. Like, is my being stressed because of a certain situation? Is that causing me to have other issues? Is that causing me to overspend? Because it very well could be. So it is important to take this big picture point of view and look at all of the areas. So I love that Carrie is not afraid to go back to basics with her clients, to look at every single area of their life and try to determine what's going on and how one area might be affecting another, and really looking at a holistic approach, not just trying to solve the symptom, but trying to solve the problem. So the symptom might be the thing that's like displaying itself to you, that's showing like, oh yeah, this needs to be fixed. I need to get help with this. But the problem is usually something else. And I think it's not often talked about. We're often not talking about the problem. We're just trying to treat whatever the symptom is. And I think that as human beings, we try to do that. But then a lot of doctors try to do that. And so as she was saying, like, that's the beauty of a holistic approach, is you could really try to get to the root of the issue, try to find out what's going on, and where this issue is coming from, as opposed to just treating the symptom and trying to fix the symptom. So I absolutely love that Carrie is willing to go back to the basics and really dive in on the basics, really get a good feeling or a good understanding of where her clients are coming from. So the third reason why Carrie Leaf is so badass is because she stays in the zone, stays in her zone of genius. So Carrie, she might get a client that comes to her and says, Carrie, I am stressed the heck out. Help me. I don't know what to do. And she might try to go over the different areas, like the basics that we just talked about, but it doesn't always work. Or maybe she sees, oh, there really is an issue with stress here. Like, stress is really hurting this person. So she said, guess what? I might refer them, or I'll refer them to a functional medicine doctor and ask them to go there and get some tests run. Maybe it's some allergies or food sensitivities that are popping up, or there's different toxins in their body, possibly related to what they're eating. But she sends them to a functional medicine doctor and has them run tests. Here is the beauty of this. She stays in her zone of genius. She is good at being a mindset coach. She is good at mental health stuff and knowing psychotherapy stuff because that is her history. So that's her zone of genius. And this other stuff, the medical stuff, leave that to the medical doctors, right? Let them do what's in their zone of genius. Leave the functional medicine to functional medicine doctors. And Carrie does that. She refers her clients out when she thinks that there's somebody else that can help them more. Or maybe it's, hey, go get this stuff tested, taken care of with this functional medicine doctor, and then go ahead and come back to me after. That's useful. I don't know about you, but I really can appreciate when a client, or when not a client, but when I'm doing business somewhere and somebody can say, hey, I'm not the best person for you, or I don't know that I can actually help you. Here is somebody that I think would be a great fit for you. I respect that. Or if somebody says, I don't know, that's really not my zone of genius. That's not my specialty. Okay, I can respect it. I'd rather that than people just talking out their ass, right? Just telling me what they think I want to hear, or what sounds good, but actually has no benefit to the client. I don't want to hear that. So if you've never, I'm going to go back to the zone of genius thing. If you've never heard of the phrase zone of genius, I would definitely recommend that you check out Gay Hendricks' book. And of course, now I'm forgetting the title of Gay Hendricks' book, but it talks all about the zone of genius. And I'm trying to Google it really quick. Let's do Gay Hendricks' book. Yes. The Big Leap. There we go. The Big Leap. So check out that book. If you want to know more about the zone of genius, or figure out what your zone of genius is and what you can do to tap into it more, then check out Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap. So good. But again, I love how Carrie stays in her zone of genius. So let's do a quick recap. 3 reasons why Carrie Leaf is so badass. First, she's badass because of her unusual self-care routine. She gets 9 to 10 hours of sleep. Second, she's badass because of her back to basics mentality. And third, she's badass because she stays in her zone of genius. So listen, if you liked Carrie's episode, if you liked what she had to say, if you liked these takeaways that were really brought by Carrie's teachings or by what Carrie said on the podcast, if you like it, reach out to Carrie. I believe she's Carrie Leaf Coaching on Facebook, and Carrie. So Carrie Leaf Coaching, and reach out to her on Facebook. Let her know, send her a private message even, and help, like, say, hey, this is how your episode helped me. These are the takeaways I had. This is what I implemented. Or you taught X, I learned Y, and then did Z, right? So say what actually helped you. People come on the show, they share all these badass tips and knowledge bombs and are so stinking helpful. And sometimes not you, not on this show, but other shows, they go on shows and talk to an audience or talk to people and then hear crickets. And then they're like, oh my gosh, was it crap? Was what I created crap? Did this even resonate with anybody? So if you don't reach out, sometimes people don't know. They don't realize how badass they are, or just how much your episode impacted them, or her episode impacted you. Words are hard. So reach out, let her know what kind of impact she had on you, or what takeaways you had, or did you change your beliefs in negative thinking? Or maybe she helped you think about mom guilt a different way. So definitely make sure you reach out or post something and tag me at Ordinary to Badass, and that's on Facebook or Instagram. Like, you could just take a screenshot, throw it in your stories or on Facebook or Instagram, and tag me at Ordinary to Badass. And with that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.